Best of R / Tales from Retail's episode 8. Today a customer tells me they have a question about their turkey. They want to know if it's safe to leave it out on the porch, covered in snow, wrapped in a blanket, until it thaws or weds, whichever comes first. I tell them I wouldn't recommend it, but would ask the meat guys. Of course they said it wasn't recommended, but ultimately it was up to the customer. Also, keep an eye out for wild animals. I go back and relay this information to the customers. He gives me a weird look, and she tells me, it's already been out there for a week, a few more days won't hurt it. And it's out of reach of animals, it's outside on the second floor outdoor deck. Thank you. Next. So I work in a big supermarket chain in Europe as a cashier and I was closing the store that night. The last customer arrives. This was almost 20 minutes after actual closing time and he only bought a whole chicken. The kind that is already weighed and has a label with the weight and price on it. But the price on it may change according to our promotions and stuff like that. But since we won't print another label for it, you need to check the actual price on the shelf. M for me, C for the customer. M. Alright, the total is 2.54 buckaroos. C. You messed up. I want you to give it to me for the price that's written on it. I check the label. It said 2.52. So I explain him the same thing I wrote at the top, but he was having none of it. Now, I could have said just give me 2.52 and it's fine, but I wanted to see where this would go. C. I don't care. I want it for that price. M. Then you can go to the info center and have a talk with my colleague and he'll refund you the 2 cents. He won't, because that's not how things work. But you still have to pay full price. C. Okay fine. Then I want the receipt stamped and for you to sign it and it'll go somewhere else. M. What do you mean you'll go somewhere else? C. To another one of your stores and they'll refund me there. At this point I was baffled. M. Why won't you go to the info center? It's right before the exit. C. I don't have time, but you do have time to argue with me. M. Okay fine. Have it your way, but I am not signing anything. Not like it would help the guys at the store if they saw a random name on the receipt lol. And you will still have to go to the info center since that's where they stamp things. Later, I asked my colleague what happened with the guy. He basically told him the same thing I said and to piss off. Thank you. Next. This happened last weekend to me. To give context, I work in the grocery department at a big box store, specifically in the produce section. Now, the produce section is super small, so it also contains both the meat and bakery section. Anyway, as I'm stocking the produce table, a Karen comes up to me. Karen, excuse me, do you work here? Me, yes ma'am. What can I do for you? Karen, well, I'm looking for organic chicken brand and I can't seem to find it. Me, oh, let's see if we have any on the shelf. I start to walk over to check the meat section to check when she stops me. Karen, that was a trick question. You guys are out, and you've been out for the last 2 weeks. I want to know what's going on. Why are you guys out? Me, well, it's a very popular brand. Karen, no, it's not that popular. I come to this, redacted, at least once a day and I've noticed you guys have been out of it for the last 2 weeks. I want to know what's going on. I eat a lot of chicken and that's the only brand that I buy. Me, taking a deep breath, I'm sorry, mom. I really don't know what's going on with that brand. I haven't seen it come on the truck in a while. Karen, well, can't you order it? I called this location one time and complained about it and the guy told me over the phone that he was ordering it right then. When I came in the next day, y'all had it. That confused me. I've been ordering for this department for the last year and a half and I've never seen chicken on the order guide. The only time I ever order meat is during Thanksgiving / Christmas time, and the only thing remotely close to chicken are the Cornish hens and turkey. I take out my device, pull up the order guide, and show her. I physically cannot do that, mom. It's not on my order guide. I'm not really sure who you'd talk to, but, Karen, are you trying to tell me you can't order it? I'm not buying that. I called this location and the guy I talked to was able to order it. I don't understand how you can't. I repeated what I said and even showed her again. She crosses her arms and repeats what she said. At this point, I'm struggling not to snap at her. Then, an idea came to my mind. I don't think I'm explaining myself clearly. Let me get my manager. Maybe she can explain it better. In the meantime, the grocery truck came, so let me see if any came in today. Karen glares at me. So, you're telling me there are some? You really should. I blurt out. I never said that. I said, I'm going to go back and see while I get my manager. I'm just trying to help. That seemed to please the Karen as she smirked at me. Oh, okay, then. That would be great. I went to the back room to get my manager and gave her a brief rundown on what was happening. We both checked if any of the chicken came on the truck today, but unfortunately, it did not. She then followed me back to the Karen, who was angrily typing away on her phone. When she saw us approach, she had a surprised look on her face. Oh, I'm surprised you actually brought someone. My manager asked what was going on and Karen reiterated what she said to me to my manager. My manager gave her the same response as I did, which was not very effective. Karen gets angry and says, "It's so frustrating that you guys don't have my product. It's so inconvenient for me to have to drive to another, redacted, just to get my chicken," and rambles on about it. Eventually, my manager cuts her off and says, "I'm very sorry that you have to drive all this way. I'll talk to my district manager and request that he sends more chicken to this store." Karen perks up at this and goes, "That would be great. It's just so frustrating that," and goes on another spiel. My poor manager stood there and listened until the Karen finally walked off. TL. Doctor, a wild Karen is angry we don't have her specific brand of chicken and does not let my manager or I hear the end of it. Thank you. Next. In Australia, a lightweight plastic bag ban has just come into effect recently, which means we can no longer give away the varying sizes of plastic bags we used to have. Instead, we're charging 5 cents for some thicker, average-sized plastic bags that we're allowed to offer now. Today, after I put a guy's items through, I asked, "Would you like to buy a 5-cent bag?" And the following conversation happened. Me, "Would you like to buy a 5-cent bag?" Him, "Do I have to pay for this bag?" Me, "Yes." Him, "How much?" Me, 5 cents. Edit, calm down. It was just a funny conversation, not a dig or whatever. I edited the post to remove the stuff people were getting upset about. Thank you. Next. This happened a while ago, but I thought to share for the holiday season. So I used to work at a store that sold bottles of wine. These customers bought 24 bottles of wine. They were a pain. They paid with a check. They had issues with all the prices and the lines were getting long and they did not care. So when we finally got them all straightened out, we started packing up the wine in the best boxes we had. It was a busy week, so we did not have many. Well, we had a box with 12 slots made for wine, but the wine bottles the customers had purchased were taller than any of the boxes we had available. And I mean, the bottles were sticking out of the box by like 1/2 inch. Really not a big deal. Well, these people freaked out. "That's not gonna work. We have to drive 1,000 miles with these boxes and that's just unacceptable." I apologized and explained, "We don't have many boxes. You're welcome to try and pick a different box if you want." So they made us unpack all the wine and put them in different boxes, which, surprise, wasn't good enough. Keep in mind the line is still getting longer and they are holding 2 cashiers hostage during this boxing situation. They wanted us to find a case of wine in the back, take those bottles of the box and give him the box, which I explained was against policy, as I cannot just have 12 bottles of wine with no home floating around the store obviously, and that's a ridiculous thing to ask. They threw a fit and asked to talk to the manager. Well, so I am the manager. We have accommodated you the best we can. I put his mostly packed boxes in his cart, handed him his receipt and told him the FedEx up the road had packing services, and that he needs to leave because there is nothing more I can do for him. Finally they left and all the people who were in line behind him cheered, and most of them made some comment about just how ridiculous that was and sorry we had to deal with that. Thank you. Next. Each of these 3 words are a curse. As soon as I hear them I know it's going to be a long ass night. I literally do not give a fuck if I get fired or not, so here I go to replace. Yep, but no. Let them ramble on and I say in a very concerned tone, "Oh dear, could you wait just a moment?" Let them confusedly nod. "I'm just going to call another member of staff up as a witness to your confession, as this is a serious violation of store policy. Then go to such and such for your order." So that is amount of money, and just proceed to reply with that until they cave. But I am works bad if it's an obvious name you would not be. Works worst if you have a name tag. They got fired. However, I don't live in the past, so this one will unfortunately get you fired. Ask the staff member to approach on Tannoy. Then proceed to ask them loudly about it. Very loudly. Repeat what they ask me. Very loudly. I'm lucky though. I have an excuse if the customer gets annoyed about the volume. I wear a hearing aid in one ear. And I can be so apologetic and mock embarrassed and say, oh, I am so very sorry. My battery has went dead, stop to show them it, and I didn't want you to have to go through the wait while I went and replaced it. I just didn't think I understood what you said and wanted to clarify. Ace. Dramatically sniff. I can't believe I'm so stupid. They rarely bring it up again. Yes, I have been fired before. But working with staff who give less of a fuck than you do at your job, you get away with a lot. Anyone else have any terms they call a curse? Thank you. Next. Edit. Search not. Suck. A few weeks ago a story happened I would like to share with you. My current job is at a small bike store. Yes, I moved when you know my other stories. That day the phone rang and on the other end was a lady, L, from one of the largest car rental service of Europe. How we can help you? L. So we have a few of these new e-scooters from large German car company, and a few of our customers lost the keys to it, so we are unable to get these. Can you help there? We do have this type of e-scooter in our store, so we can see what we can do. Please give us every information you have about the keys or scooter, like frame number, key number. ASO. The lady gave me a few informations they had in the system. It was not much. I only got frame numbers and other number from the lock. This is a bigger thing for us, so I don't want to mess that up. My first attempt was to contact the company that made the scooter. In this case it was not the car company. They designated the scooter and gave the brand name to it, but they also sell it. I typed the reseller number of the manufacturer into the phone and I was greeted by a voice. Welcome to company name. When you have questions about our products, please contact your local partner store. Thank you. Click. WTF was that? I asked me and tried it again. Same voice. I looked up online for another number. I don't found another. Then after a third try a voice said, sorry, all people are busy ATM. Please try again later. After this I tried this a few times more. Same answers on the phone. Then I tried to call our distributor for this scooter, just because the manufacturer is a sister company. There I got someone on the phone and he redirects me to a person of the sister company. Hi, this is DJ Kato from Store XX. I have some questions about some parts of the car company e-scooter you build. Manufacturer guy, MG. Sorry, we are not responsible for parts of this scooter. These you must go to. Citrus, that has nothing to do with them at all. They do all the parts stuff. We only build the scooter and sell them to you. But when you build them you must also have parts for it. MG. Nope. Please contact site. Goodbye. Click. Till now that's something I have never heard of from a well-known brand in the industry. So I looked up the site and logged in. I am lucky that we are a partner of this site. Hidden on the site was a section for the scooter. I thought this is it now, but no. There was no key or new lock for the scooter. Semicolon. Even in the handbook/manual, all parts are listed with a number. So the next call goes to this site. Let's call him site guy. Hi, I'm looking for a specific part for an e-scooter, and tells the story what happened, and now I hope you can help me with that. SG. Oh yes, we do have parts for this scooter. Unfortunately that what you see on our site is what we have. There is no more. Do you know where you get this parts from? And can you give me a contact person? We really need these keys or locks. SG1. We got this from big player in the electronic boosts worldwide, but I can't give you contact informations. Also please contact car company. Maybe they can help too. Okay, thank you, that is really helpful. SG. You are welcome. So next station, big player. In the meantime 1H is gone. At first I have called the support number on their website for direct customers only. The lady who I stopped first with transferred my call to Russia. At least the person there could speak German. So the person transferred my call back to the right department and they gave me a number of a spokesperson. When I called the number I was greeted with, I am not there till end of the year. Please leave a message. Great. Then I found some numbers from spokespersons from my country. I called one and got him. I explained the whole story to him and he promised to take care of it. But can't promised. Is this the right word for it? IDK. That they make the keys or locks for the scooter and would call back in a few hours. In the meantime I called the car company's official support. The guy on the other end just said after I said that I have questions about the scooter. We are not allowed to speak about it. Goodbye. Click. That is dumb, I know. So I called a dealership in my hometown that I know. Maybe they can help, right? After I told the whole story another time, they are very interested in it and want to help. So I gave them the article/part numbers from the manual. They looked it up in their system if they can get these parts. Nope, even they could not get their hands on it. A few hours later the guy from Big Player called back. They also could not get the end on these parts but said that the site from earlier must have these parts. So I gave them another call. I told the whole story again. SG2, other guy. Nope, as my other colleague said, we do have only that what you see. You must go to car company, they must have parts. But, tells this part of car company. SG2, then your customer can throw the scooter away. This is around 2,000 euros per scooter BTW. At this point I was desperate. I wrote in short sentences what everyone said and where I called. Later that day I told this my boss/owner of the store. He calms me down and said that he will take over this now and I should send him the story as a mail. So he doesn't, I do. The next day I had my day off. So the day after that he told me what happened. He apparently knows one of the higher ups in the company of our distributor. So he gave him a call and told him what's up and sended him that mail I wrote. That person informed the CEO of the company and he that took over that by himself to get these parts for us. And I think that person I sopped to from that company don't work there anymore. The friend of my boss reached out to us then with some statements and a big sorry for all that. They found out, the site do have these parts. They were in a hidden list on some server nobody knew of. So we ordered X amount of these. We informed the lady from the car service and told them the story without some details. Then she said that some of them found the keys and gave them back. So we must call the site quick and change the order before it was too late. And that's the story how we got onto parts from a e-scooter and the weirdest thing I have ever encountered in my job.